Ha! That did work. That's funny. I gotta get in the right spot. Come on, get him. Yeah! Okay. No! Damn it! Why didn't I just wait? I got greedy. I regret to inform you that this is the end. Yep, that's right. This is going to be it. Last video. Like I said, I predicted earlier, I'm going to end on about 15. So here we are, video 15. I think win, lose, or draw, this is going to be it. I mean, I'm going to beat the last boss, but any of the extra things I have left to do, I mean, there isn't really. I've done it all. I don't know what I'm saying right now. So here we go. Let's just jump in. All I got to do today is the Dark Chasm, and then maybe like a little bit of a Sunlight Metal grind just to show. It could be as short as 30 minutes or as long as 3 hours, depending on how the Dark Chasms go. But let's jump right in. Okay, so I need to travel to... I want to save the Drangleic Castle Dark Chasm for last. The other two don't really matter, so let's just go straight for the Shaded Woods. And if you are unfamiliar with this, this is definitely something I missed the first time around. There are 3, I guess you could call them hidden areas where you can find this dude in a wheelchair. His name's like Grandal or something like that. And he has these little challenge areas you can go into. And it's called the Dark Chasm. And there's 3 of them that you need to do. 1 for each area that you find him in. And the first one is here in Shaded Woods. The second one that you'll come across is in the Black Gulch, and the third one is in Drangleic Castle. So here he is, Granddaddy Wheelchair himself. I don't need to hear what he has to say. You have to give him a human effigy every time you want to go in the Dark Chasm, which is why usually people will save this for last. Shoot. Shoot! Yes, I would like to. Thank you, Granddaddy Wheelchair. And if you die, you have to go back to the bonfire. You know, you don't come back to here. I don't know why, but I guess I thought if I died in the Dark Chasm, I would just respawn right here, which of course makes no sense. You do go back to the bonfire, which is why the Drangleic Castle is the best to save for last. But we'll cross that bridge when we come to it. I don't want to get ahead of myself. Alright. Let me see if there's anything I can buy from him. I really don't think so. Yeah, he's got some good X magic. I've never even seen this. Profound Still. Blocks spells of nearby casters. Interesting. Alright, so we're gonna go in here. Hopefully everything goes smoothly. What do I have to press? Oh! The other thing is you have to be hollow. I'm pretty sure you have to be hollow. Wait, what? Right? Hold on a second. Do I have to be hollow for this? Is that the deal? Granddaddy Wheelchair, what's the deal? Yeah, I think you do. Okay. Well, then... that's kind of annoying. Alright. For real, I don't want to do all this. I gotta find the best place to kill myself. There's something you don't say every day. Well, maybe, I don't know. I guess just right here. Hi-oh! Oh, look at me! I've never been here before. Okay, you know what? I actually don't want to do that now. Okay, if I jump right here, then he'll just... yeah, that should be fine. So you can see why these guys are kind of hard to find, these Dark Chasms, because there's a lot of different conditions you have to meet. You have to find all 3 of him first before you can even go into one. So that's part of it. And then you have to be hollow, you have to give him a human effigy. You know, you have to be a person who likes to re-explore an area. And then also finding him is hard. There's, especially in Black Gulch, that area is not easy to find unless you're going through there with a torch, which is kind of a weird thing to do. I mean, I guess I did that, so, but I missed it my first time around. Yeah, he's hard to find, and then there's other conditions you have to meet, so it's no surprise people miss this completely. Ah, bro, that wasn't it. What is the problem? Why can't I go in here? Oh, I'm dumb. Okay, my bad. You have to be part of the Pilgrims of Dark Covenant. So that's what's going on here. So I did not need to be hollow. There we go. Alright, now, once in here, you're going to have to fight off some pretty tough dudes. And then you're going to have to go do it again in the other two locations. And at the end of the third location, whichever one that you pick to save for last, is the boss that you'll have to fight. But you'll have to fight through those enemies in the third location in order to get to the boss, which is why Drangleic Castle is the best place. To do the third one, I mean. Alright, now, I am praying that my miracle build, my Cleric here, will serve me well for this, because I want to say that everything in here is weak to lightning. I'm almost certain that the boss is. Okay, this is a good one to start with. This is kind of a nice, easy one. I really want to draw this guy out. Come on, this way. This thing hits hard. Ah, yes, my lightning is doing very decent damage. I will take that. Come on. You're not supposed to cheap shot me back. I'm only cheap shotting you. Okay, good. Good. I will take it. We'll use all Estus flasks here because there's no reason not to. And you do need to light these, so have some flame butterflies on you. If you don't light this, you have to come back in here and do it all again, so make sure you light it before you leave. Okay, this isn't the weapon I want. I want my rapier, but we'll do that later. Do it while we're waiting for this. Alright, bada bing, bada boom. Anything else? Nope, and then once you get the last guy, it'll clear the fog from this exit, which is a drop down, which is kind of scary, but that's it. So there's 1 of 3, so that actually went very smoothly. This could be a very quick video. Depending on how the boss fight goes, because I have no... Brother, I got no idea how that's going to go. Have a little talk with... Grandal? Dark Diver Grandal. Alright, that's it. Now we're going to do Black Gulch, which is the harder to find one. And then we're going to do Drangleic Castle, which is the best one to save for last. Go to this fire here, second fire. Second fire! And just run. I don't mess with any of this. Just run, and right about where I think like this notch is right here. Yeah, that should do it. Sometimes some of these dudes will follow you down here, so just try to first of all keep your eye on your back, but try to get this thing going before they can get down here. Darn it. Don't do what I do. Do as I say, not as I do. Okay, here we go. Okay, use some buffs. Get out some lightning. This one is actually, if it's the one I'm thinking of, it can be tricky. This one kind of gets me sometimes. Mostly because there's a fire throwing dude that really likes to ruin my day. And this guy's no fun either, this giant hammer MF. There he is. Yeah, there he is. Okay, getting one of them taken down is, of course... Ouch! You and your heat-seeking crap. Alright, let's get a little heal in. Believe it or not, this is going pretty good so far. Taking out the hammer guy is, like, so important to this going... Oh, shoot, what was that, brother? That was... knocked me right off my feet. Ooh, I killed that dude, though. Yeah, if I'm getting through this much, this easily... Whoa! What was that? Throw it at him, bro. Come on. There we go. Oh, what did he drop? Bonfire Ascetic. Completely useless. More Bonfire Ascetics. Which way is it? This way? Fire. Wait, I gotta find the fire. Don't forget to light the fire, or all of this will be for nothing. Okay. What am I doing? Alrighty, put that away. A couple more guys to take down here, and that's the end of the second one. I've heard people say in the past that this is like one of the hardest things in the game, and I just don't agree with that at all. I think it's like good to save for last because you want to have some extra human effigies. So like if it's your first playthrough, human effigies can be a little hard to come by, probably because you're dying a little extra. But, you know, now that I've done it a bunch of times, I don't have any problem with human effigies. Oh, son of a gun. I do have a problem not paying attention, pressing the wrong button, the wrong time. But yeah, you know, I just don't even think it's that hard, is what I mean. Even the boss at the end, I think it can be a hard boss, but I've never had that much problem with it, so. Why am I using that? Oh, I one-shot that thing. That's crazy. I have never done that. It must really not like lightning. No, sir. No. Get out of here. Okay. We're just going tit for tat here. That's all right. I'm gonna take him down first because my shit is way stronger, and I can do that. All right, and that's it for that area. Hi-yo! So yeah, this is going incredibly smoothly so far. No problems whatsoever. Talk to Granddaddy over here. I keep hoping he's gonna have something new to buy, but he does not. Okay, and finally, Drangleic Castle, just the third bonfire, I believe. Yeah, because we're going to be right there, right next to him, which is what we want. Okay, so after I get through this small area, the boss fight will happen. You know, just hopefully that goes all right. We'll see. Oh, I already gave him accidentally gave him a human effigy way earlier, so I still have this ready to go. Okay, now, tricky right through here. I can see all right. If you have the darkness way down on your screen, I sort of tend to bump up the color and the brightness on my TV. You know, if you're playing on a monitor or a TV or whatever you're playing on, just make sure your brightness is probably up a little more. It's going to help you see, like in this area where it's hard to see where death is. And then same thing here, as I'm pressing the wrong buttons. Buff up. Everything in here seems to be weak to lightning, so if you're a cleric like me, get a little bit lucky. Oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot, oh shoot. Woo! Okay, we're gonna run, because I do not want to get by that hammer. That thing is going to schwack me, bro. Schwacked. Bushwhacked. Obviously that shield is not fantastic right now. Okay. Lots of holes to fall into, so be careful. I like to take on this guy first. Owie. Try not to get hit by him. He tends to do a very quick rapier sort of flurry. Yeah, like that. And then watch your back. Should be able to one-shot this guy. Yeah, look at that. For 777 damage. That's great. Bonfire Ascetic, that's probably what that is over there too. I'll come back for it. And Flame Birdifleur. Birdifleur! Alright, and there we go. Man, watch me talk all that shit about this not being that hard, and then I just don't do well against this boss. I don't know what to expect. I mean, there could be some extra surprises with the boss. Sometimes there's been a couple boss fights where there was a couple extra, you know, spirits, red spirits or whatever. And this chick has no shield, so this should be easy peasy. Alright, now something with a lot of sorcery defense would be nice. What does this have? This does not have much sorcery defense. So I'm going to go ahead and take all that off, like I would any other boss. I'm going to put on a Spell Quartz Ring +3. This thing also shoots flame. It has like a flame projectile, but I believe that it uses spells more. So since I don't have any gear on and I'm really light, might as well put that on. Could get really crazy here. Okay, what do these do again? Hold on. Shortens spell casting time. I mean, that's nice, and it's a pretty big deal. And Southern Ritual Band gives me a bunch of lightning. I'm going to go out on a limb here and say I'm not going to need to... that I'm going to do a lot of damage to these guys, and I'm not going to need all those lightning spears. So, I'm also going to put this Flame Quartz Ring +3 on. I probably don't need to do either of those things. I just need to have well-timed dodges and, you know, well-timed attacks, and hopefully this won't take me too many tries. Hopefully I can do it in one try, but if I do get hit by either their flames or their spells, I'll have some extra protection. So let's use one of these, get my spells all going. Alright, what do I have? And, I only have 5 great... Oh, man. I don't want to only have 5 Great Lightning Spears. Okay, so we're going to scratch that. We're going to put that back on. I have to use another one of these. Maybe another one of these. What is going on? Oh no! Oh no. Okay, so this is interesting. Man, learn something new about this game every time I play it. So when I took that Southern Ritual Band +2 off, or when I took off, yeah. So when I took this ring off, it removed all those extra attunement slots I had. And I will have to now go back to a fire and re-equip those attunement slots. I can't just put the ring back on and then it gives me back those spells that were in the attunement slots, because it doesn't know. All it knows is it removed those attunement slots and now they're empty. So that is my fault for being dumb. So we're gonna do the best we can here, and yeah, I'm not gonna use my buffs until I get down there. All right, here we go. Uh-oh. That hurt. Yeah, doing very good damage. Watch out, one of these will shoot that. And I think that counts as a hex. Oh, you know what? Maybe it's not sorcery, but it's hex that I need to guard against. Okay. I think the strat here, because I think I'm going to have to do this again. I think the strat here is going to be use lightning spears, because those were just destroying. My lightning rapier didn't do nearly the amount of damage I wanted. All right, so first things first. Let's do that. I think that's what I want. I mean, which makes sense. It's the Dark Chasm, of course. It's not sorceries, it's this. I didn't even see the fire attack that they do. Let's do this. Let's, I'm not gonna need all of that, so let's just load up on lightning spears. Oh, you know what I could do? Alright, I'm gonna try and push these guys off. I think that could actually work out for me. Alright, let's try this. Alright, talk to him.
You are here, young undead. Now, yeah. The most of it. Made it.
Alright, here we go. Got this time. Alright, so definitely want to do these. Ha! That did work. That's funny. I don't know if it's going to be so easy with this guy. I got to get him in the right place. Wow, that thing's hitting me. Okay, now I'm just kind of having fun trying to knock him into the crevasse there. I don't really need to be human. I mean... Alright, I'm gonna take it serious this time, because I want to get through this. Alright, here we go. Alright, so you don't have to go light this again. You can see it's already lit back there. So that's a bonus. If I can get this guy to come out here, I can knock him into this with my my force, which is totally unnecessary, but I'm kind of just having fun playing with the game right now. Yeah, you're right here. Oh, I gotta get in the right spot. Come on, get him. Yeah! Okay. You know, and then, you know, I didn't use as many as my Great Lightning Spears, so... Alright, I haven't even used this. I don't think I want to play with this guy. I think I just want to take him down. I'll use a, an herb if needed. Okay, now we gotta do this for realsies, okay? For realsies. Let's get a wilted dusk herb going on. In fact, I think I want to hotkey these. shortcut. I don't know why I say hotkey like it's 1994, but you guys know what I mean. Yeah, right there. Okay, so we got that going. We got our Dark Quartz Ring +3, our spells. We got everything going. Don't want to buff until we're actually down there. So yeah, that's it. All right, here we go. Oh, wait, I want to do one more thing. I want to get out this Haiti Knight Sword +10. Well, if I have to switch to weapons, at least I'll have that doing a little extra damage, but I'm really going to rely on my lightning spears. Ooh, I didn't know she did that second attack there, darn it. Alright, watch out for this. Watch out for that. Oh no. No! Damn it! Why didn't I just wait? I got greedy. Oh, this is actually kind of fun. So I am absolutely destroying these motherfuckers, which is great. This is by far the easiest I've ever fought them. But I thought I was going to be cute there and just keep throwing lightning spears like that. Like that fireball wasn't going to fucking kill me. So that was dumb, but... Alright, here we go. God, that's really funny. I can't believe I can't believe I did that. I know what I was doing. I was like being cocky, like, man, I am just fucking this thing up, bro. Let's go. And then she kills me in one hit. It's fair. It was a heavy attack. I mean, that was like the one fireball thing that I was talking about earlier that you don't want to get hit by. Cannot give now. Well, yeah, that's not what I meant to do. All right, here we go. It would be really cool if I could kill her before she splits, because I've never done that before. That was a first. I would have killed her had I not died, but to kill her before she splits like that, that would have been sick. Maybe I can no damage her. You know what? I need to stop this. I just need to beat the game. Just be done with it. This is it. We don't need to. We don't need to create more challenges for ourselves. Not on this run, at least. Alright, he put his shield away, so that helps me. Like I said, no more being cute. No more Mr. Nice Guy. I love for that hits for exactly 777. My lucky day. My lucky day. Not yours, bitch. Oh boy. Don't fall in a hole. Don't fall in a hole. There it is. There's that little flurry. There he goes. Man, you crazy. You crazy. You crazy. This is not a no damage run, okay? We can just use our stuff. It's cool, man. No. Nay. I feel bad. I'm sorry. Sorry, bro. Okay, now... Oh, hey, look, it puts our souls right here. Okay, now, again with this. Probably wasting more of these than I need to, but whatever. And how many do I have? 30? Okay, excellent. All right, let's use Sacred Oath when we get down there, chuck lightning spears, and call it a wrap on this boss. Can get 3, maybe 4 off right here. Okay, don't get hit by whatever this nonsense is. There we go. Roll! Oh! Woo! Whoa, hey! Oh, come on! Watch out for, sometimes she gets off a little final attack there. Hey, I guess I did no damage here. That's kind of fun. Alright, and that's it. Then you jump down here, and that's over. Lightning's obviously the key to the Darklurker. No, 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 no! Accidentally touched it again. Yeah. We're just gonna do that. Okay, so then talk to Granddaddy Wheelchair, and he will give you, I believe, some spells.
Finally, now, young, I bequeath.
Oh, Dragon Chime. Okay, I already have that. Talk to him twice. Okay, that's it. I guess if you already have... I want to say there's some spell he gives you. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyways, that's all done. Dragon Chime is the best chime in the game, by the way, so if you're looking for that, that's how you get it. That's my second one. It's the one that I've been using for this whole playthrough. And now we're going to head to... I'm leaving those souls in there. I don't care. I think I lost a couple 100,000 souls in the last 30 minutes. Whatever. Alright, now we're going to go to the grind. The Sunlight Metal Grind. Where are you? It's in Seldora. Seldora Brightstone Cove. I just call it Seldora. And it is at this bonfire here, next to the campsite, we'll call it. And the idea of the grind is that these guys here, I believe it's them, drop sunlight metals. Falconers, basically. I suppose that in New Game Plus there are some falconers in the very first area. I could try that as well. But these are the ones that drop them, I believe. Or some enemy in this area. So what you want to do is use a certain spell that kind of attracts them over here. I don't know, there's this whole thing. I've looked it up before and watched it. So I could like look it up real quick. Yeah, let me do that. Okay, so here's the deal. You need a sorcery called Walk Appease, like Walk Appease, and another one called Soul Appease. So we're going to see if I have those. I don't think I do. I have one of them. I don't think I have both. I have neither. Okay. Are they hexes? Oh, Walk of Peace. That's what I meant. Promised Walk of Peace. So, in order to use Walk of Peace, I need 40 miracles, 40 levels of miracle, and 30 sorcery. I think that's what that is. And then Soul of Appease. Walk of Peace, Soul Appease. That's what he was saying. Soul Spear. Soul Flash. Or is it a miracle? Maybe it's a miracle. Yes, Soul Appease. Yes, okay. So you use Walk of Peace and then Soul Appease, both of which I have, which is great. My problem is that I need 30 sorcery. 30 intelligence. So I'll need to use a you know what I mean. I can't think of the item name right now for some reason, but I'll need to go use one of those and change my stats real quick. So being that that's the case, I can take 15... No, I can take... Let me watch a video again. Maybe there's a certain amount of intelligence and faith I need. Okay, I'm back. So he said that you need to have a decently high faith, but the intelligence is not needed for damaging purposes. So I just need to make sure I have 30 intelligence, and I might as well keep my faith at 65, because I think that's what's doing the damage. Because you use Promised Walk of Peace, which I think attracts the enemies in, and then you use Soul Appease, which kills them. And I guess they... I don't know, I guess you still have to pick them up. He wasn't picking them up as he was... Oh, because you have to see if they drop... Okay, so what I need to do is make sure I have a 30 intelligence, and we can keep my faith where it is. It doesn't really matter what the rest of my stats are, so I could take it from Vigor, Endurance, Vitality, whatever. So, first thing I need to do is head back to the Firekeeper's crib. Crizab. And use a soul, whatever that item I can't think of is right now. Soul Vessel. Alright, so we'll take 10 from Vigor. We'll take 10 from Endurance. And we'll take 6 from Vitality. And that should get me, unless I just did math really poorly, that should get me where I need to be. Alright, there it is. Yes, 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 this is what I want. Can move everything back. 50, 40, and 50 was my Vigor, Endurance, and Vitality. 50, 40, and 50. Okay. We've done that. Now we're going to go back and start the grind. I am not going to do this entire grind on camera, unless for some reason it goes insanely well right now. Which I have a feeling it's going to be a little different than what I'm seeing in the video, because he's doing this on a regular new game file. I'm on New Game Plus, where the enemies are tougher, so I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to try it out. It's apparently still the best farm in the game, even if you're on New Game Plus, so we'll give it a shot. He says it's like a 3-hour grind in the video, so we'll see how it goes. First things first, let's go ahead and put all of the item finding gear that we can find. Raises item discovery. Let me look up what the best item finding gear in the game is. Okay, so it's the Symbol of Avarice, of course. You want the Prisoner's Tatters torso. You want the Watch Dragon Parma, the Covetous Gold Serpent Ring +2, and you want to use a rusted coin every 5 minutes, and that's the best you can get. Alright, so let's do it. Symbol of Avarice, Prisoner's Tatters, which I better freaking have, yeah. There are no gloves? Is that what it's saying? There's no gloves? I feel like there are. Oh, wow. There aren't. Alright, so here's what we're gonna do then. I mean, I guess just no gloves, right? It doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever. So we're gonna find some legs, which are the... Oh, there are no legs either. Dang, bro, really? It's like I don't believe it, you know? I have to, like, check, but... Sure enough. Alright, that's it. Might as well not have anything on. I want to remain as light as possible, so... Alright, Covetous Gold Serpent Ring +2. We'll hotkey these. Oh, wait. That's not it. Where are you? I got 41 of these. That's fantastic. That sword on me. Just in case. Get the rapier out. Okay, make sure we have our spells attuned. I'll keep those two around for now. And get out, Promised Walk of Peace and Soul Appease. You should only need one each because we're only going to cast them one time and then run right back to the fire. Alright, and the video's saying right about here. So we'll do this. And we'll do this. I don't really know what's next. He runs right back to the fire in the video. But I imagine you're supposed to look out to see if any of these have dropped. Hey, let me run back to the fire and watch the video again. Alright. Okay, I'm back again. So, first thing I need to do is actually go enter the Covenant of Champions because I need these guys to spawn infinitely. So I forgot to do that. And then after that, that's it. That's you just have to look out for them dropping the items, and if they drop one, go pick it up. And then you just hit the fire again, cast Walk of Peace and Soul Appease. He's casting Soul Appease twice, so that's good to know. I think I probably have way higher faith in him, judging by what I'm seeing going on there. But that's it. That's the whole grind. So we'll do it a few times here, see if I can pick up a few, and then that'll be the end of this video, and that'll be the end of my Dark Souls 2 New Game Plus Cleric series. And there are a few trophies that I still need to pick up for this game, which I will do sort of on my own time. But then after I pick up those couple of trophies, I really won't have a reason to come back to Dark Souls 2 for a long time. Probably a few years from now, I'll want to come back to it again. Do I need to talk to you? No, I just need to... I've entered the Covenant of Champions. No! Shush! Shush! Leave me alone. Alright, go back to Brightstone Cove, Sildora. Royal Army Campsite Bonfire. The character is looking real sexy with a giant chest on her head and the fucking prisoner's tatters. And that's it. That's the whole grind, man. He said right here where this rock is where you want to be. Like this little pile of rocks against this thing. And just do that. Cast this a couple times. Maybe 3 times to be sure, since I'm on New Game Plus. Might take me a couple extra. And just look out for them to drop any. They don't always do, so you just hit the fire and do it again. Probably would be easy for me to get rid of those other spells I have. And I also need to use a rusted coin. Oops. Come on, really? Obviously, the good thing about this is if you die, you're right here by the fire. Hey, it looks like he dropped one. I'm gonna test something. I know that that's a sunlight metal, so I'm going to stay at this fire. Ah, yes. So if I stay at the fire, the item stays there, so that's nice. So there we go. One sunlight metal took me like 3 tries to do that. All right, let's see if we can optimize this. Tune spell, get rid of that. Let's use a rusted coin, which I have hotkeyed. And then every 5 minutes, so it's 2:08 p.m. where I am right now. Every 5 minutes we'll take that. I don't know how long I'm going to do this for. Hey, dropped one. So, it looks like it's a decent farm. Falconer Helm. Okay, so they can drop more than just... Oh, shoot. What just happened? I accidentally used another rusted coin, I think. Did I? Wait, no, I got 40. I don't know. That was weird. See what this is. Golden Falcon Shield. I don't know what that must be. One of the effects of the spells. That little shimmer that's happening around me. Okay, Falconer Armor. So, it looks like they also drop other things, but I'm getting a Sunlight Medal like almost every other time right now, so... Maybe this won't be too bad. Alright, let's do it a few more times here. I at least want to do it for the next few minutes to get the most out of my rusted iron, my rusted coin, whatever it's called. Falconer gloves. Okay. And Falconer gloves. That's not what I want. Alright, well, while I'm doing this, I guess it might be a good opportunity to yap a little bit. As far as my experience with New Game Plus and, you know, my Cleric, my New Game Plus run went, it was a little harder than I thought it would be. I really struggled in the beginning and about that midway point. I feel like since I switched to a rapier, just everything got easier, which of course, you know, it's just kind of, rapier is, you know, puts the game on easy mode. There's a reason people say that. But it was, you know, the enemies were harder, the bosses were harder. I didn't expect to struggle as much as I did, because normally when I play through this game these days, now that I've played through it so many times, I don't have that issue. You know, I don't really have that issue at all. I usually just breeze through the whole thing. But I didn't at New Game Plus, so that was a good thing, I think, right? You want New Game Plus to be like a new, fresh something, you know, fresh challenge, of course. So I think I got that. I got a little more challenge that I wasn't expecting, but that I, you know, I think overall I'm pretty happy with getting that. So, you know, was challenging, so that's good. What else is there? Things that made it challenging. Maybe I can sort of expound on that. The extra invaders, the extra spirits, invaders, phantoms, whatever you want to call them, was certainly the biggest difference. It was certainly the thing that made the game a little trickier, a little harder. Of course, like, enemies and bosses had more health, maybe even a little bit of a different moveset. I want to say I saw enemies doing movesets I didn't expect, so that was a thing. But the invaders being different, that was a big deal. There were also extra enemies placed in certain areas, like the very beginning of the game, there's those falconers. So that is things like that changed and added difficulty. It does seem like they kind of leaned into the ganking, the gank fest, so you could say that it just adds artificial difficulty, and I wouldn't even necessarily disagree with you. But either way, it did make the game harder, those couple of things. And yeah, I'd say that kind of, having those extra invaders was cool. Having those different enemy placements was cool. But, although challenging, I'm not sure how really different it was. I think I was expecting a lot more as far as it being different. And I don't mean that as like a criticism. It was different. In as far as New Game Plus goes, this, as I understand, is the only game from the entire FromSoftware catalog that changes in New Game Plus. Don't quote me on that. I'm really not sure. I just feel like I have heard that. So you correct me, if I'm wrong there. But I think that is true. So it's cool that it's there. It's neat that it's there, and it's not a complaint. I guess I had built it up to be a little more than it actually is. Or maybe some of the comments and stuff I've read about it led me kind of to believe that it was this big difference. I guess just because it's the only game that does that is why people kind of make a big deal out of it, and I think that that's fair, But my expectations, I think, were a little higher, and I was a little disappointed, maybe because of my own fault. Period. End of sentence. I don't want to... I feel like I'm criticizing the game. I'm really not. I'm sort of saying that I kind of went into it expecting a little more... like maybe even an unreasonable sort of amount. Like I built it up too much in my head, So, but it's cool that it's there. So yeah, New Game Plus, good, right? Nothing amazing, but it was good for New Game Plus, and I enjoyed it. And as far as being a cleric goes, and all of that setting, that whole context. There's another sunlight medal. I think I learned a lot about the game, and people helped me in the comments. If you commented and liked and subscribed along the way, first of all, thank you. Secondly, I really appreciate the help. I think there's one guy specifically that commented a lot, so appreciate you, bro. I learned a lot about just how the magic and how scaling, like weapon scaling and other things worked, how some stats worked. I was a little bit incorrect in some things and how they worked, so that was that was good. I not that I went into this thinking I knew everything about the game or I'm some kind of expert. I definitely never claimed that, and I never will. I see guys on YouTube doing all kinds of crazy runs that must take so much time and effort and planning and just skill, just getting good at the game, just naturally being good with video games, those kind of things. I'm nowhere near that level, but I do have knowledge. Like I know a lot about the game. And it was really nice to just learn more, despite having known, learned so much already. I think these games are great for people. These are really gamers' games. You know what I mean? These games are for people who like, your core gamers. I kind of hate hardcore as a term. It just reminds me of, I don't know, hardcore, whatever you want to call it. These games are made for people like me, for people like you watching this. If you're watching this, you're probably one of those people. And I really appreciate that the devs are obviously, clearly, also those people, right? And I know that there's one guy that's kind of responsible. What is it, Miyazaki? I think his name is. He's kind of responsible for the creation and maybe a lot of the ideas. But I never like to worship one person. I'm not really into that. I'm not into that with celebrities. I'm not into that with developers. I'm not into that with directors or movie stars. I think it's a big team, right? There's a lot of people that went into making this. I kind of hate to just give one guy all the credit. You know, so I'll just say the devs. You know, I think that they really are gamers, right? They know a lot of these, like the stats. You know, like when you first look at the stat screen in this game, for somebody who's not played a lot of games, not played a lot of RPGs, that's intimidating. You know, even for me, somebody who's played a lot. When you first look at the stat screen, like let's take a look at it. Okay, so we open this up, and you see this mess, right? Anyone who's not into gaming, or has only ever played like Mario or Tetris or whatever, they see this and they're like, what in the hell is that, you know? But I see this and I see, oh, okay, you know, as long as it's actually functional, that's a whole nother question. You could have a complicated stat screen and it's just a mess because it doesn't functionally work in the game. We know it does with this game, so let's just get beyond that. When I see this, I'm like, oh, this is great, man. I'm going to love tinkering around with this. I'm going to love trying to, you know, min-max this. I'm going to love trying to figure out what everything does. And this game, as if they know, gives you this thing where you can press start and see every little thing. You know, there's no mystery there. That's nice. And yeah, just like learning about all this, the learning process has been great going through this on New Game Plus. Like, it's forced me to change my playstyle, it's forced me to change weapons, it's forced me to, you know, change rings and armor and everything, you know. It constantly kind of, you know, asked me to adapt, right? To change things up and to keep learning. And I think I did. I think I did a good job kind of, you know, doing those things and not just, you know, trying to force my way through with the same setup I always had. So that's cool. Okay, let's use another rusted coin here. And then put them away so I don't accidentally use them. And back at it. So, yeah, so I don't know, other things, New Game Plus, Cleric. I mean, I think that pretty much covers it for my New Game Plus, you know, journey. And you know, I look forward to possibly playing New Game Plus, you know, to moving on. And something in sort of the back of my mind I think would be cool is to take both Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2, because I've mentioned this before, but if you're just checking this video out for some weird reason, I like to play every class. I've only played Dark Souls 1 and 2, and I like to play every class in each game. So in Dark Souls 2, I think there are 10 classes, or I'm sorry, in Dark Souls 1, I think there are 10 classes. So I played the game 10 times. Still dying. 400 hours later, still haven't got the Deathless run down. So Dark Souls 1 I played 10 different times, 10 different classes, beat all bosses. You know, I try to do everything in the game. I try not to skip any items, even like the hard to get ones. Maybe some of the hard to get ones I skip after a few run-throughs. You know, but I try to do all bosses. I try to do everything I can in the game. And then I go to the next class. And I platinum Dark Souls 1, and my plan is to platinum Dark Souls 2 as well. So here I am in Dark Souls 2. There's 8 classes, so I've played the game 8 times. More if you know, obviously count New Game Plus as an extra run. And I thought it would be cool and also absolutely insane, and it would take so much time to take every class for Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2 and max it out all the way to New Game Plus 8 or New Game Plus 7 or whatever it is. It's either 7 or 8 for 1 and 2, where it gets to a point where the enemies don't get any stronger. They're the strongest they're going to be. It's, you know, I think it's New Game Plus 7 or 8. I'll have to look it up. But to do that with every class, right? So throughout my years, I'm 39 now. I still got a few good years left in the tank, hopefully. I think what I would like to do, you know, with cloud saves and hopefully backwards compatibility still being a thing. I mean, eventually I'm going to switch to PC and I might lose all this save data. So that's a thing. I don't know, but just throughout the rest of my life, I would love to play all of these classes, keep all of these characters I made, and just keep adding on, learning more, doing, you know, different, like using different armor, using different weapons, making them look as cool as possible. Maybe I take each class and I turn them into like a boss, you know, like my hammer class in Dark Souls 1, I could turn him into like Smo from Ornstein and Smo, so I have all like Smo's gear and his hammer. Because I think currently it's Havel's armor and Havel's Dragon Tooth hammer in Dark Souls 1 and Dark Souls 2. But like to actually max those files all the way out. So I've literally done like everything that the game has to offer. That's something I think about that would be kind of cool and fun to do over many, many years. And those are the kinds of things I think about. That's kind of how I play games. I'm a bit of a completionist in that way. Man. Oh, there's might have been something right there. So obviously I don't want to die here. Maybe I can move over a little bit, sort of optimize this. But yeah, kind of back to what I was saying. You know, I'll come back and play this game again someday. But I think I'm gonna be done with it for a long time. I think I've had my fill of Dark Souls 2. It's been a good run. There we go. It's been a good run. I had fun with it. I got frustrated with it. I hated it sometimes. I loved it most of the time. And yeah, I think Dark Souls 2 is a good game. Borderline on like great game. You know what I mean? But like, I don't know. I'm really more of an RPG guy, like a JRPG guy, like, you know, Square Enix, like Final Fantasy, Kingdom Hearts. You know, so personal preference, you know what I mean? Those are great games to me. This game is like great, not in a fun way like those games are, but great in like a satisfying way, like in a, again, like this is a real gamer's game. Like there's so much to dig into and so many stats to nerd out about and like tinker and, you know, change things and, you know, I don't know. I don't know how to articulate it. It itches a certain scratch for me. What this game does. It's not the same scratch as like a Kingdom Hearts, like probably my favorite game series. Which that's where the Kingdom and Kingdom Kev comes from. This is going to be a pretty much Kingdom Hearts based channel. But we'll get back to that another time. But yeah, there's something that these games do. Feels a little bit like D&D, even though I never played D&D. I did grow up having a friend that when I went over to his house, his older brother would be playing D&D. And I remember seeing like, you know, the graph paper they used because he would make his own like stuff, I guess. And I remember seeing all that and being like, this is crazy. You know, like all the stats, you know, and the and everything and I don't know, like I thought that was cool, so maybe that's where that's coming from. Like I love, you know, seeing all of like getting into the mechanical part of it, like really getting in there, you know, pushing up my glasses and like really getting nerdy with it. You know what I mean? Like I like that shit. And clearly whoever made these games understands that. But I don't like it the same way I like Rocket League. You know what I mean? Like Rocket League's just dumb fun. I could play for hours. And I have. Oh my god, I've put so many hours in the Rocket League. And I'm not even good at it. It doesn't matter though, because it's just so much fun. You know, so I love this game for that. And you know, I'll revisit it again someday, but it's probably gonna be a while before I come back to it. But they're great games, you know, great developer, great team. I think Dark Souls 2 deserves a lot more credit than it gets. I do think it deserves some of the shit it gets as well, though. There is some dumb stuff that this game does that is so incredibly frustrating and so incredibly, like, there was just zero foresight or zero testing, or things got rushed, or they just thought something was a good idea and it was just like baffling. You know, any of you guys who actually watched all of the run through, you heard plenty of my bitching about it. I was getting very whiny in there for a while, but I think it's deserved. You know, it's not a perfect game. If I had to give it a score, I'd say Dark Souls 2 is like an 8 out of 10. Sometimes it's a 7 out of 10. Sometimes it's a 9 out of 10. But I'd say personally, that'd be like a personal score. A critical score, I don't think I even want to give a critical score. I think I'd probably just piss people off, because if I was being really critical, it would be a lower score for sure. My critical scores are very, very critical. Even my most favorite games of all time still only will get a 9. Like a 9 might as well be a 10. There's very few games on my 10 out of 10 like critical score if I was really looking at it with a critical eye. So I won't even give that. I'll just say my personal score for this game, probably an 8 out of 10. I think a lot of people didn't like it because it wasn't enough like Dark Souls 1, and because it has some seriously stupid mechanics, just things that the game mechanically does, like really like base level things that are like, you what, mate? You know what I mean? Like we're doing this, you know? I won't go back into that. I bitched enough throughout the playthrough. If you want to hear that, go back and check out the videos, especially the early to mid-game ones where things were just kind of rough for me. But overall, 8 out of 10. I think it's a fantastic game. I think you're really missing out if you're a Souls fan and you've never played this. What are you doing, kid? What are you doing? It's at least worth playing through one time. You know, if you hate it, well then okay, you're done with it. You don't come back. But I also do think that you almost kind of have to play through a Souls game twice. Like, you really do, because the first time it's such a slog, man. It's such a struggle. Everything's so hard. But then when you go back through it the second time, you have a much easier time, and then you kind of start to have like almost a little fun with it. You're like, oh, okay, you know. But I understand if somebody plays it once and they're like, never again. Like, I get it. But I would suggest giving it a shot. Jump in, give it a try, you know. Don't be afraid to look up a couple things. Like, it's best to go into these games blind, but like if you're really, really struggling with it for whatever reason, don't be afraid to, I don't know, look up a couple tips. It's not against the law. Use a summon, for Christ's sake. One of the first shorts I made was talking about how actually I use summons. I like summons, and I don't feel bad about it. Not every Dark Souls run has to be a soul level 1 or a no hit or a no damage, whatever you want to call it. Not everything needs to be that. You can use the summons. It's okay. It's okay. All right, you can use the summons. And if you don't, well, you're adding an extra layer of challenge for yourself. So like, if you play the game, you don't use summons, and you complain and bitch about it, I'd say you need to use the summons. Like, you need to at least try doing that, because they are mega, mega helpful. And if you refuse to use them, well, then you're not adapting. Like I was saying earlier, you have to be willing to change your playstyle a little bit. You have to be willing to adapt a little bit, or else you're not really giving the game a fair chance. But yeah, I don't know. I'm just trying to think of stuff to yap about while I'm doing this grind here, which is going kind of okay. I think it's about what the guy said. It's going to be like a 3-hour thing. I felt like I was getting more right off the bat. It's just kind of been stagnant for the last like 10 times I did it. Let's see how many I have. I had 2 already, so I've gotten 4 so far. What did I say earlier? I think I said 208. So a half hour, I got about 4. So if we do that math, we have 24 left to get. So that's 6. So that's, yeah, we're looking at like 3 hours, So it's a long grind. Let's give it maybe like one more 5-minute thing while I kind of yap here and kind of close everything out for my final video here. So one more rusted coin. And back to it. Promise Walk of Peace. Spam Solapees. And that is the entire strat. That is the whole farm. There's only 3 guys here. There's a 3rd one. So if they drop one, go grab it. If not, then back to the fire. And that's it. That is it. Okay, let's talk about moving forward. What I'm going to do with these games, FromSoftware games, and then also what I want to do with the channel, and maybe a little bit like just my whole YouTube journey. So moving forward, I'm going to be playing Bloodborne, which I'm really excited about. I feel like that game just looks like it's going to be my type of game. Who knows, maybe I'll get in there and there'll be some mechanic or something about it, the way it feels, I don't know, something about it I hate. So that's always possible, but I think I'm going to love it. I think I'm really going to like that game aesthetically, and then I also hear it's just a really good game otherwise as well. So I'll be playing Bloodborne next. I'm going to probably jump in the next few days. So probably by the end of the week, by Sunday at least, I'll have at least one video and maybe even a couple shorts already up. So, you know, be ready to check that out. I mean, I don't want to promise anything. Anything could go wrong, like my capture card could take a crap or something, but, you know, if that happened, I would make like a quick cell phone video or something to put out there. So yeah, within the next week, I'll probably have the first video out already and be on at it, jumping in. I'm gonna play blind. I don't like to use guides or walkthroughs or cheat sheets for my first playthrough. I've only played Dark Souls 1 and 2, so I'll be, you know, this will only be my 3rd FromSoftware game ever. So I won't be using any guides, any cheat sheets, and I will be playing it offline. I looked up to see if there are messages. I looked up to see if there are messages if you play online, and at least Google told me that there is, so I want to turn those off. I don't want messages. I don't want any help from online. I want it to be completely blind. As far as like backseating and spoilers go, I mean, there's not a ton of people commenting on these videos, so just naturally I'm not really worried about that. But if for some reason you're watching this and you're thinking that you want to like backseat and spoil the whole thing, I don't really care that much. If I start to read a comment and I can tell where it's going, I'll just skip past it. So if I don't like, or because I like and interact with every comment, you know, as anyone trying to start a YouTube channel should do. So if I don't like or interact with your comment, it's probably because I thought it was like spoilery, you know, or just because I forgot and I'm scatterbrained like that. But I've been pretty good about responding to them. It's probably because I thought to myself, you know what, this is a little more spoilery than I want, a little too backseaty, and I'll just not read the comment. I don't have a chat, obviously. I've never done anything live. I might try that if people ask for it, or if I feel like I'm getting lots of views on a video, or I just want to try it just for the fuck of it, then, you know, I might do a chat. And in that case, to me, in my opinion, if you have a chat, if you're gonna play live, stop bitching about backseating and spoilers. Stop doing the whole all caps, 17 exclamation points, no backseating, no spoilers. Just stop, right? If you have a chat, that's on you, okay? That's on you. Stop berating your chat, okay? Stop berating the people who are watching your content. Stop yelling at them and banning them and all this bullshit. You're the one who decided to have a chat. You're the one who decided to play this live with people around on a big, you know, app like YouTube or Twitch or whatever. I'm so fucking tired of hearing people bitch about that. I'm so tired of creators bitching about it. Or just let the mods do their job, all right? You actively make the content worse, and you make the people watching it frustrated when you just berate and talk down to them like that. Nobody likes that shit. I'm starting to think it's like some sort of hidden tactic that the algorithm picks up that I don't know about or something. I see so many creators out there bitching about spoilers and backseating in their titles, in their descriptions, in their chats. Like, you have to click the, you know, no spoilers and backseating, got it, thumbs up thing, click before you can even type anything in. I'm so fucking tired of hearing that, man. I will immediately unsub from somebody who just constantly bitches about that. Like, shut the fuck up, okay? don't have a chat if you're going to be that worried about spoilers. Don't read the fucking chat. Like, it's not hard to just not look at it. You know what I mean? Have mods if your channel's big enough and you want to have mods. Have mods do all that for you, right? And I'm referring to bigger channels here, people who can do these things, right? Who they do have mods in there. And they just still constantly, they stop every 10 minutes to scream and bitch about spoilers of backseating. Meh. Like, I'm just so tired of hearing that. But, you know, it's like anyone out there who is not figured that out, people hate that shit, man. People do not like hearing you berate them about that stuff. Like, that's on you. You're the one who decided to be online and have a chat and all that shit. So as it relates to me, I don't really care about that stuff. If somebody spoils something for me or there's backseating, that's on me, okay? I'm the one deciding to put this content out there. I'm the one deciding to read the comments, interact with them. I'm the one deciding to have a chat and interact with that and, like, I guess not trust my mods, you know, which feels a little bit like weird when you have mods and then you still are bitching about it. It's like, why do you have them if you're gonna cry about it? Like shut up, you know? The same way it's like if you got a movie or a game or anything coming out and, like, you don't want any spoilers, you don't want to watch the trailers, well, then you got to go dark. You got to get off the internet, all right? I won't spoil things here, but the ending of Avengers Endgame was spoiled for me because the guy literally the day or 2 or 3 days after it came out, just blatantly put it out there. It was a funny meme, which, looking back on it, I think it was a funny meme, but I didn't know what it meant, and it totally spoiled a huge spoiler for me. And I was kind of mad at the dude. I didn't say anything, though, because that's on me. You know, that's on me. I was the one who decided to be on the internet. I was really worried about spoilers, but I was like, I'll just get on, you know, Instagram for a minute, and then bam, like right when I opened it up, it was right there. That's on me, okay? I'm not going to get mad at him about that. You know, I'm not going to have a chat or I'm not going to read comments and then get mad when people type stuff about it, you know? I mean, obviously there are people who are jerks that spoil things to be an asshole, but like 99 times out of 100, somebody just didn't realize, you know, they just kind of accidentally did, like, mention something, or they got a little cheeky where they were, like, foreshadowing. You know, it's like stop being like that towards the people that are watching and consuming your content. I think it's really kind of gross. What else can I rant about? Okay, so that's Bloodborne. Okay, as far as future FromSoftware titles, I do plan on playing all of them on this channel eventually. I am not. This is not a FromSoftware channel. This is not going to be a Dark Soulsborne channel. I just feel like these games, especially Dark Souls 2, because I was already playing it, I'm already very familiar with it. I thought that these games would be a good place to start, just to have sort of evergreen content, because these games just don't seem to be waning in popularity. If anything, people just keep coming back to them to do even more challenge runs, SL1 runs, hitless runs, like that one guy who played all of the games hitless. Wild, by the way. So I just thought it would be a great place for me to kind of start and get my feet wet. I actually did not plan on releasing any of this. This was all going to be like unpublic, private, you know what I mean? Unpublic. This was all going to be private and me just kind of working out everything, but the first video I did turned out okay, and I'm like, well, let's just put it out there. And it's been great. I've got almost 50 subscribers, which is like way more than I thought I would get. I'm not really super concerned with subscribers and views and all that, but it's been fun trying to, you know, like, overcome that challenge, you know what I mean? That's like almost its own little video game in itself, like trying to get my page to have more subscribers. I mean, hitting 100 would be massive. You know, so that's been great, and I will eventually play all of the FromSoftware games, but this is not a FromSoftware channel. If anything, it's a Kingdom Hearts channel. But I'm going to play lots of different games. I'm going to play lots of games I never played before, which there's a bunch that I just missed along the ways. I'm going to play new games, you know. I'm going to try to get into playing more like new releases instead of, you know, games that I haven't played that are 8 years old. Or, you know, 10, 12 years old like this one. Or even more at this point, shoot. But you know, I'm gonna play all kinds of games, and I will eventually get to all of the FromSoftware games. I'm gonna go through. Next would be Bloodborne, of course, which I am gonna do this week. That's gonna be the very next thing, and then I think it's Dark Souls 3, and then Sekiro, and then Elden Ring. And I'm gonna do all the DLCs for all of those as well, like all of the extra gibbets. So yeah, that'll be over the next couple of years. I mean, I only have so much time that obviously I'm not making money doing this. You know, this is just a fun hobby, and it's been a lot of fun actually. I really like creating, but it's just something that I can only do. It took me like a month and a half, almost 2 months to get through this. You know, 15 videos, and you know, it's gonna be a slower channel unless I, you know, have just like an insane amount of success with it and I can monetize it. But that's a whole thing that I'm not even thinking about. I don't think this channel will ever be that. I mean, it'd be cool if it did, but you know, I don't think it's gonna be that. So it'll be a slow thing, and I'll eventually get to them all. So yeah, so that's where I am with FromSoft games, FromSoftware titles. And as far as the channel in general and just how my whole journey is going, I think I'm spending way too much time doing this. I don't want to stop doing it, but it's like, you know, it's been summertime for me. I do teach. I'm a teacher, so I'll have, you know, less time moving forward. I'm gonna try and find a good balance of like whether waking up earlier or staying up later or whatever I got to do. And I'm gonna keep trying to have the same amount of content, but I don't know. I can't promise anything. I probably will have less shorts. Like I'll try to just focus on the main videos and maybe do like one short or two, possibly, instead of like 3 or 4 like I have kind of been doing. But yeah, it's been a huge learning experience, learning how to use, you know, OBS and lighting, and, you know, using my iPhone for the camera. That's what this camera is. And I got kind of a crappy USB mic, but it gets the job done. And working with, you know, the plugins and the, you know, noise cancellation, and I think I actually just got rid of noise cancellation because it was adding all kinds of artifacts and doing some weird voice compression things. But yeah, just overall the journey has been much more successful than I thought it would be. And yeah, you know, what I've done is really nothing crazy. I'm a dime a dozen. There's a million people out there doing this. It just turned out better than I thought it would. Like the way it looks, the way it sounds, how my workflow, like how easy it is to actually do. I mean, it's been just so much better than I thought it would be, and it's so much more fun than I thought it would be. And I think those two things are kind of connected, you know, like it actually turned out really good. Like, what, really? I thought it was going to be garbage quality, it was going to look terrible sound. I think I'm doing all right here, guys. I think I'm not doing too bad. And it's been a really enjoyable creative endeavor. I think in just my own personal life, it's been like, this is something that's good for my brain, you know, to keep creating stuff like this. I don't know how good it is for my throat, which I have that problem when I'm teaching too. I tend to talk a lot and talk really fast. Ah, darn. This is probably not a farm that I should be dying at all, but I think the New Game Plus is kind of making it a little tricky. If I was just on regular New Game with this level of strength, I'd probably be one-shotting this. But yeah, my YouTube journey has been great. I may or may not go to Twitch. Oops. Now I'm definitely gonna die. I may or may not try out Twitch. I know somebody in the comments mentioned it a while back. I don't like dying. Okay. I don't like the layout of Twitch. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna say it. I don't like how purple it is. I don't like how much there's just crap all over the screen. There's like little icons next to your name, and there's all. I mean, I'm not trying to. I feel like I'm being a real negative Nancy right now. I just don't like all that shit. I like the simplicity of YouTube. You know, I don't like the emojis only stuff. I was in a I was in a chat the other day, and I'm on YouTube, but everyone else is on Twitch, but the chats are joined together, and they're doing emojis only, and I'm like, what the fuck is this shit? You know what I mean? Like, I'm a 39-year-old man, like, I'm not doing this, you know, and then they banned me, and I was like, fucking really? Like, you know, it was just really frustrating. I don't really like Twitch, but I think there will be... I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. I don't know. I can't promise anything. I think Twitch will be in my future if I keep doing this. If I get to the point where this isn't fun and I don't like doing it anymore, then, you know, I'll probably never get to Twitch. But it may be something I do. And, you know, maybe I'll try it out because I want to make the channel better. Maybe it's like, well, if I can grow a big audience on Twitch and then maybe some of them come over here, maybe I just switch to Twitch altogether. I don't know. I'll keep making content, keep playing new games, mostly here on YouTube. There's a lot of Kingdom Hearts in the future. There's a lot of Final Fantasy in the future. You know, a lot of FromSoftware, Dead Rising, Resident Evil. Those are all my favorite games. There's still some Resident Evil games. I've never played Resident Evil 8 or Resident Evil 4 Remake. Ah, come on. Dang it. So there's that. You know, there's a lot of new games. Games other than those. Hogwarts Legacy. I heard that was a good game a few years back. I've never seen Harry Potter. I don't know how that whole world works. Maybe I'll watch the movies first and then play the game. But I do want to play that game. I heard it's really good. What other games have I not played? I mean, God, a ton. There's so many. If you guys have any suggestions out there, you know, feel free to put it in the comments. I kind of want to keep this channel pretty much playing either new games that I've never played or games on difficulty levels I've never played. Like, I'm going to play Kingdom Hearts 2, Birth by Sleep, Dream Drop Distance, and Kingdom Hearts 3 on critical. Oh, and Fragmentary Passage. I've never played any Kingdom Hearts game on critical, so that'll be like something I do. But yeah, if you guys have any suggestions, any of you weirdos that have made it this far, and all my blabbing, feel free to let me know, to suggest them, and I'll see if maybe that'll be a good fit for me or not. And yeah, just, you know, keep an eye out for me releasing content, and, you know, like I said, if you have any suggestions, let's see if I can get one more. Yeah, one more. Okay, we'll call it right there. I'm gonna head back to Majula and put all my gear back on. Yeah, if you have any comments, suggestions, comments, concerns, smart remarks, your mama jokes, all of those are welcome. All right, I'm a pretty laid-back dude. I like talking shit. I like cutting it up. I think that's fun. I'm not really a mean-spirited guy, though, so if, like, you come at me with something really mean, I might just kind of, like, move past it. Like, you know, like, giving someone shit and then just being a dickhead are two different things. And you'll know where that line is, you know, if I respond to it or not. All right, let's use this. Let's get out of this gear. Whenever I am done with a character, done with a class, I like to set myself up so that the next time I play this game, it'll kind of remind me what I was doing. So, like, for this, I'll keep my rapier, and I'll keep my lightning Haiti Knight Sword plus 10. And I'll keep this dragon chime. Because these are kind of the three main weapons I've used. Okay, and I'll also put my gear back on. Here we go. Probably some of my favorite gear in the game. I'm so glad I went with it, even though it didn't have the buffs. It didn't matter. I didn't need the buffs on the other gear I had. I was fine without it. So, all right, there we go. So cool, man. Love this armor. All right, and yeah, man, that's a wrap. That's everything. Oh, you know what? One more thing. I want to get my spells back to where they should be. So we had that. We had, I think, these two, and I'm gonna put on these 5. I got 5 Great Lightning Spears, which is kind of sick. Got 30 of these, and these things are strong as hell. Well, against most enemies they are. Yeah, that's it. Alright, I'm sure there's things I missed, some things I did or didn't do, whatever. But, that's all bosses, like I said I was gonna do. All explored, fully explored everything. You know, maybe minus a couple things here and there. Killed pretty much all the enemies along the way. Talked to all the NPCs, watched all the cutscenes again. You know, changed my playstyle, changed my gear, kind of completely, like, learned a lot about the game, completely sort of changed the way I see and feel about the game, which I guess that happens every time you play it, but yeah, anyone who in there or out there, who's come along with, you know, the journey with me, I appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Please come back for Bloodborne. Like I said, hopefully within the next, like, 3 days I'll have a video out, but, I can give you a sort of a soft lock promise. I mean, anything can happen. By the end of the week, by Sunday, I'll have a video out. And I can't wait. It's going to be completely blind. So anyone out there that's been waiting for that, you know, turn on the notifications or whatever so you see that come through. And yeah, I think that's it, man. I think I've yapped for long enough. I'm going to go rest my throat a little bit. It's... my throat muscles are getting a little tense. But, you know, if you liked all this stuff, like, subscribe, comment, all that junk. And I'll see you guys very soon for some Bloodborne. Alright, see ya!